All right, Raindrops. Happy Monday. I hope you all had a great weekend. I know somebody that had the best weekend is Claudia Jordan. I'm going to bring her in a second because Claudia was in Vegas doing BravoCon weekend. Okay. And as you all know, go on my podcast. I have been giving you all the tea that's been going on all weekend. In addition to that, Love and Marriage Huntsville is back. That came back Saturday. Bell Collective had their season finale. Monique Samuels is back up Atomic. So look, we have a jam-packed show tonight. And the Black Leonardo DiCaprio, Dustin Ross, is here. Y'all not give Dustin shit. So anyway, give it up for my Aries twins, okay? Claudia and Dustin.
Hello. Yin yang in the thing, okay?
What's
The yin yang
Leonardo?
twins.
Leonardo.
What's
Hey,
going
friend.
on, boo?
I feel awful today. I just want to give a full disclaimer. If I faint during the show, y'all have my address, send the ambulance. I am going to the doctor's right after the show. I feel awful, but the raindrops are important to me, and it's made very clear to me this weekend at BravoCon how much they love the show. They live for the show. So I'm going to live at least for the next hour and a half to deliver, because my priorities are work first, health later.
Here. Okay. As I drink an energy drink.
Right. I'm like, Claudia, I don't know about that, babe.
If I don't make it, I leave everything to my cats, my mom, and a little bit to KJ because he does a lot of work on my house.
He been good to you.
Yeah.
Listen, I hope you feel better, friend. I'm sorry you're not
yes.
feeling the best today.
I have a metallic taste in my mouth, and my hearing feels like I have water in both ears. So if anybody's in the comments can tell me what that means, and I don't know. Like my eyes look crazy right now. But anyways,
not to me, but I understand what
Not
you
to me
mean.
either.
You look good.
You look good and tan. Your skin is glowing.
I'll be a pretty corpse when I go.
Don't say that, Claudia. No, we don't. Guys, Claudia has a dark sense of humor. Just know that. So just know to be friends with Claudia is to understand that she has a dark, warped sense of humor.
They're gonna take care of you, okay?
Oh gosh, Claudia, I can't with you. Well, look, sister, get the blood work done. And listen, raindrops. This is a PSA. At the end of the day, at the least, get blood work done at least once a year. So that you can understand about your iron levels, your blood sugar levels, all of those things. It really does help you out. So I encourage everybody at least once a year to get it done so that you're able to check, to see what's going on in your body.
Get your ass up and go to the doctor. Not you, Claudia.
No, I'm going. I'm going.
Claudia.
Yeah. Her ass going. We talk about the other ass.
I think a lot of times, especially with Black people, we have this thing like it's a gift and a curse where we look a lot younger than we really are. So you kind of get caught up in thinking because your outside still looks like you, a young, vibrant 30-something-year-old, but your insides are still aging. Your insides are still, a deficiency in iron, or I know I had that problem before where I was like, why am I so out of breath going up one flight of stairs? I work out, went and had my iron checked. My hemoglobin was at a 7.2.
Wow.
6.5 is where they talk about blood transfusions.
And the normal number is what?
From 12 to 14. So I couldn't go do a TV show one time that I had to be out of the country and compete because I found out a day and a half before leaving. It was for NBC. It was huge because my blood work came back that I was severely anemic. But a lot of times a lot of women are anemic anyways. I know we're not supposed to be talking about this right now, but I hope this helps somebody out there.
No, our raindrops, listen, they need to know what's going on in their body. So listen, I encourage that. I'm a vegan. So as a vegan, I do have low iron, but I take iron pills regularly so that I'm able to, of course, be on the up and up. So look, it's good that we're talking about this. Health is wealth. Health is wealth. Dustin, you had a good weekend?
I did. I worked so hard this weekend. I put in a lot of hard work,
in the office? Or?
Yeah, that's a double meaning right there. Yeah. I feel like there's a double meaning there. Hard work with like how many times?
Yeah, I work from hard. I pulled a double.
Oh, a double. Wow.
I pulled a double. We're gonna have to check these labor laws around this motherfucker. That's how hard I was working this weekend. But
Was it? Did you work overtime or?
we're gonna have to call OSHA. Okay, as long as it ain't OSHA, but we might have to call OSHA anyway. that one was for Claudia.
Yes. Got it. Received.
Listen, Dustin is a giver, and we love that at work. He works very hard.
Mm-hmm.
He gives a lot to the assignment, and he makes sure to excel in all of his endeavors.
I'm an overachiever.
I love the double.
You got to be above average. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to really try to at least hit that mark. You know what I'm saying?
Not the spot, but the mark.
The mark. Because X marks the spot, and who's worried about an X, right? You got to be concerned about hitting that mark. Okay.
We all love when you keep high marks too. And then we tell a friend you do high references. Yeah.
Look, I was on an honor roll. Okay. Anyway, you guys are so silly. Very happy to be back here with you.
I'm happy to be here. Claudia, you were in Vegas. I want to start this conversation, Raindrops, by talking about BravoCon. Before I get to all the tea that came out of it that I was waiting for all weekend to talk to Dustin and Claudia about. Claudia, you were there live in action. You look gorgeous. Claudia is so sweet. She took videos of the Raindrops, talk about how much they love our Monday night show and how much they adore our recaps. But Claudia, paint the picture. How was it?
Never been to BravoCon, and I'm like, damn, I wish BravoCon was around when I was on at the height of Housewives, because you get so much love. But even though I'm 10 years removed, the enthusiasm was through the roof. Like, because a lot of the Housewives don't walk around BravoCon. They are very much, they'll come off for a panel and then they'll go to, a booth or something, but they're not walking around amongst the people like that. So they're very excited when they do get to touch and say something to someone that, like, it's a big deal. Like, it's a really big deal. And I'm with the people. Like, I always love that. Like, I'm not the security, keep me away. No, come on, let's take a picture. And when I tell you, like, hearing straight from the fans of Housewives, they're so funny. Every single one of them told me they watch Monday Night Lives. Every single one of them was like, they were when you were there. They were like, I love them. I watch every Monday night. And I'm like, yes. And I'm like, well, I said, do you mind if I get you on video? So I got a few, but what I sent you was a small representation of all the people that stopped me and talk about the show. And not only the fans watch this show, but all the girls on the show watch the show. Like, I won't say who, but a few of the new, a few housewives I've, started following me from Potomac, which I love that. Like, they are watching what we say. They are watching what we think. And it was amazing. Drew, my cousin,
yes,
the Jordan family, we kept missing each other, but we were texting each other all weekend trying to meet up, because she was like, imagine if we walked around together. She wanted to do that, but it was just, my feet were hurting too. It was just too much. It was like overwhelming. But I think it's something that if we went to next year, they will go crazy. We should definitely have a little setup there and just.
That's what's up. They can hire us. I would love to go to work next year at BravoCon.
Yeah, I would love to see Dustin and you, actually, Claudia, to moderate panels.
We could.
I would personally take my debit card and swipe to see Claudia and Dustin moderate the Atlanta panel, the Atlanta Housewives panel. I would only want to be in the audience. And
it would be, we've kept it very much a buck with all the Housewives shows. And there may be some people that may feel like it's, that may not be the biggest fans of some of the things we said, but it would be a very honest panel. It wouldn't be one of them fake ass kissing ones, or wouldn't be hostile just to have a moment. It would be honest.
Yeah.
Like, we're not on that. We're not trying to like a got you moment. It'd be like honest, like, yo, let's ask what the people want.
They had that, they had the radio host, Kiki Monique, shout out to her, right? But she was heavily featured in this season of Orange County in a capacity, we'll just say that. And she was moderating on the main stage this year. So I don't think we've said anything too controversial. You know what I'm saying? That would block. If Kiki Monique's ass can get up there on this stage, I'm sure we'll be welcome with open arms. So,
I'm advocating for Claudia and Dustin to host and moderate a panel at BravoCon.
We can do it. We'll give them a good rate.
No, because listen, a lot of things transpired this weekend. Speaking of your cousin, Drew Sidora.
Yes.
If there was an award for the most improved housewife, it would be Drew Sidora.
Yep.
To be able to knock out two of your opponents in one breath is what housewives are made of, especially in Atlanta. So raindrops, in case you missed my recap over the weekend, the Atlanta panel that included Drew, Angela Oakley, Portia, Phaedra. I hate when this happens. I feel like
Shamia, Kelly, Cynthia. Yeah.
Thank you, Dustin. Dustin always saves me. Okay, there we go. Not this weekend. I'm checking my iron levels after Claudia does hers. Okay. So, with that being said, the panel was hosted by the amazing journalist. Wait, Zuri Hall did
Rachel
Potomac.
Lindsay.
Sorry. So Zuri Hall did Potomac. We'll get to that later.
Yeah.
Former Bachelorette Rachel Lindsay, thank you, Dustin, moderated the panel. And Drew Sidora read the fuck out of Shamia, who she called Shamessy, and Kelly. She pretty much said to them, Claudia and Dustin, listen, me and Shamia have a performance. We're performing later. I don't know why she thinks, she's all of that when both me and K. Michelle sings better than her. She also said that, look, when it comes to Kelly's restaurant, Nana's Chicken and Waffles, she prefers Waffle House. She gathered them in one punch. And in that moment, I said, Drew Sidora, Center Peach, Atlanta woman you are. Claudia, because that's your cousin, how proud are you of how Drew has emerged as a shade assassin?
I am so proud, but that's that Jordan blood, I mean, look at the other greats out there. Michael B. Jordan, Michael Jordan. We are Clutch, Claudia Jordan.
Juanita Jordan. Juanita Jordan.
Juanita Jordan is one of the biggest. I mean, she really won in the end. Even the nation of Jordan, all beautiful people that will, they want that smoke. I'm very proud of her. I know we have spoken before privately in our group text about advice we would give to Drew, hey man, tell your cousin she better step up. I don't need to. Because cousin, I'm very proud of you, and I will be down there to do a scene with you when you always resume filming. We have talked about it. We're gonna do a little something together. But I'm very proud of her because before, when I really wasn't watching the show, I would always hear about Drew getting dragged. They drag her for how she dresses. They drag her for a line. They drag her for this, that, and the third. And I think it kind of it created a monster in a way because she took a lot of those hits and she was able to chill and marinate. And I don't think she's as emotionally triggered as some of the others now because she's used to them coming for her. And when you are just used to taking arrows in your back, arrows, incoming fire from all angles, you do develop a thicker skin. She doesn't look how reactionary some of the other girls get. I love Shamia, but she reacts when people come for her. Kelly, they all react. Britt reacts. She's a queen of reacting, just overreacting. Drew will take the hit and then give you a very poised yet precise clap back where you look stupid. And I always say this, whoever controls their emotions won the fight. So now, Drew, all those years of y'all dragging her, you have created this. Y'all helped her become this. Because now y'all shit don't get to her like it used to. She's used to having a target on her back. So she's handling y'all. And I'm here for it. I love it. Cousin Drew. I cannot wait for the next family reunion. We will have a nice little kiki.
Dustin DiCaprio, what are your thoughts?
Not Dustin DiCaprio.
That's right. Okay, get on my Titanic. Now, I was very, very, very proud of what I saw from Drew Sidora on that stage at BravoCon during that Viva Las Atlanta Peaches panel. Okay, I was very impressed by what I saw. Quick on her feet, in real time, in the moment. Could it have been pre-prepared? Maybe. You know what I'm saying? But hey, it worked. It landed. As one of the people who was a part of some of the initial, I'm not gonna say dragging of Drew, but I definitely had critique for her, right?
You wasn't a fan, right? You were like,
yeah. And I did too, Dustin. I said that it was giving Tyler Perry scripted series tease in the beginning.
Yeah, and some of the critique was healthy, right? Because there was a vicious critique on like some of her styling choices and shit. Drew's a beautiful woman who we've loved from many projects before the Housewives of Atlanta, right? She's been around acting for a very long time. People wanted to see her at her best if she was going to come into this environment and space. And what we saw on that stage at BravoCon was Drew at her best. She looked good. She sounded good. She was composed and poised, just like Claudia just said. All the elements it takes to be the victor, and you know, that verbal sparring that they do on the Housewives shows and on those stages. And it was good to see. You know what I'm saying? She tore Shamia and Kelly asses up, and they were sitting right next to her, immediately to her right and left when she did it. So she was pointing from side to side in elbow length gloves. It was perfect. It was perfect. So shout out to Drew. That's what we wanted to see. And it made her appear to be on even footing with the rest of some of the veterans on the stage, right? When it comes to being able to withstand all that. People forget Drew was a child actor. Like Claudia said, she's had a lot of practice with rejection and being scrutinized, being under scrutiny, you know. So that's nothing new for her. And I'm so glad that it's finally clicked in her head how to take with her all her experiences, bring them into the housewife space, and play the game the right way. We're now getting to see that, and I love it. I'm glad she tore them up. She started on that reunion last year when they had that yellow on. I did not like her dress, but that's okay. I didn't have to wear the motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? But she sat on the end of that couch and tore their ass up that whole reunion.
At the end.
Yes. I told you she was on that couch the whole time.
You know,
going off, you know what I'm saying? So I was happy.
In the world of track and fields, like you know, they always put the people with the fastest times in the middle lanes. That's a favorable lane, lane 3, 4, and 5 you want to be in. And when you're on the outside, you're a long shot to win because you are at a disadvantage. You're away from the pack is at your back or away in front of you, like lane 8, lane 1. They basically put Drew in lane 8 and she still won. And that you have to be so good and focused to be away, right? Like, you know, you're already going there with a disadvantage mentally because what's the thing that people always talk about? Oh, who's sitting in seat number 1, the closest to Andy, the first 2 seats. Yeah. And so you already go in there like, oh, okay, that's what they think of me. They are putting me on the outside like I ain't shit or I didn't really bring it this season. So for you to get there, overcome the psychological downgrade they give to you and then still light them up.
Happy to see it.
Imagine how she's gonna be this year when she rightfully is in. Well, I still think they're gonna do her dirty. They have something against her for some reason. But if she's even 1 seat in, she's gonna violate.
Based on what I've seen, and listen, I've said this, and it's no secret. Whoever gets the first seat, you are considered the star of the season. It's not a secret. All shows do that.
Which is crazy because they had Jen in the first seat on OC, but that's another show.
I didn't get that at all. I love Jen. I didn't get that at all.
Because Katie should have been. Anyway, but we'll talk. Go ahead.
Okay. Thank you, baby. So I agree with you. I will say this. Listen, we'll see the season. And I will say this, and we'll get to Potomac. One thing about this show that I love the most is the fact that it's unlike any other show where we just don't talk about the scenes and move on. We really do have a healthy, educated conversation on, you know, the state of the industry, reality, the cast, and all this other stuff, which is why we're giving Drew her much-deserved flowers. I want Drew, as of now, we'll see the season, to have first chair at the reunion. I think she deserves it. She had it before, but I think Drew is Atlanta's Shade Assassin. Because she does in an effortless way, and I think we need to really look out for her. What I will say is this: the biggest buzz BravoCon had to me was Atlanta. You guys can tell me your thoughts on that too. there is something about Atlanta that just creates a firestorm of conversation. As we get to recap Potomac later in this episode, it did make me think too, like there is something about that show and the other shows to where it moves me. It gives me something that to anticipate. And we'll get into the Potomac panel too, but it didn't have any buzz. But Atlanta did. And it made me miss Atlanta. And as we're going to get into Potomac, which by the way, Potomac's a good show. It's a good season. Shout out to the production and the cast.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like the spark isn't there when it comes to Potomac.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing that I'm rushing home to, like, I can't wait to see this. You could say what you want about last season's Atlanta Housewives. That was must-see fucking TV.
Yeah.
I think the three of us, if I could speak for the three of us, I think we got our rocks off waiting every Monday to talk about the Kenya of it all, the Brit of it all, the Shamia versus Portia of it all. You know, like, let's talk about conversation. It was... It activated the three of us in a way that I think we just had the best time doing. Again, Potomac's fine, but Atlanta just has something that I feel like all shows should take note of. And I'm looking forward to Atlanta, and I want Atlanta back on my motherfucking TV screen tomorrow.
100%. Go ahead, Claudia.
It was a big poster when you first walk in to BravoCon, and it's like maybe, I don't know, 50 feet long of all the headshots of like the housewives, right? All the Bravo talent. And of all the people, right? Of all the housewives, guess who was front and center? If you had to pick one housewife of all the housewives.
Nene.
Nope. Nene wasn't even on there.
Candy.
Nope.
Angela, wait, what's the question again?
Angela Oakley.
Angela Oakley was the middle photo. They had all the housewives of all the franchises, okay? Not past, but current, right?
Okay.
They had all of them up there. And front, dead center, middle was Angela Oakley of all of them. I thought nothing like that happens by accident, right? Everything is thought about when it was like all the...
Yes.
It's you walk into the convention center and you look up and there's like maybe 40 of them of the Bravo talent, and Angela Oakley was in the middle. And
she should be.
Yep. And I was like, wow. That was kind of, I don't really know a lot of the white ladies on the other shows. Like when y'all be mentioning people, I'm like, who's that? I don't know. I don't know them. So I don't know her. In my Mariah Carey voice, I don't know her.
I know one you need to know, and that's Bronwyn Newport from Salt Lake City, because Bronwyn put things down on their ass, Claudia, in a way that you would appreciate. She just packed up this friend of the show of Salt Lake named Brittany, who went with an extra, like a bonus Osmond. She was like kind of dating him or whatever on the show. Long story short, she made a joke that she constantly makes about Bronwyn's clothes being costume and not fashion. Bronwyn is sitting on the stage, Claudia, in a huge polka dot couture outfit with a big ass hat, right? Literally sitting like she dropped into the clothes. As Brittany makes her joke, the camera cuts straight to Bronwyn, Claudia. She goes, "Oh, Brittany, I'm so glad that I can make you relevant with your little joke. Every time I see you, I'm in new couture, and here you come with the same old tired read." And the whole BravoCon erupted. You got to see it. She's like us. She's like us.
I like it.
And you are like Bronwyn Newport. So that's a white one to watch.
And there's no diss to white ladies, because let me tell you something. The white lady love I was getting in there. Hey, all my white queens out there.
Hell yeah.
I appreciate y'all. Y'all gave me life, and they were so funny. Like they were like, "Why are you not on Housewives? Will you go? Are you here because you're coming back? They talk about you all the time and I'm like, listen, I'm not here for that. Do you watch Monday Night Live and do you watch Accidentally Informed? They said, yeah, they watched the show, and I was like, okay. But I want to get more familiar with some of the others, and I did see the trailer. They did play the trailer of Real Housewives of Rhode Island. Did you see that?
Oh yes. Oh,
it was good. The
houses, Carlos.
The richness. I felt like I was watching where Meghan Markle, Prince Harry was staying. Do you know what I mean? Like the architectural of the house was so massive, and look,
that's Housewives.
Bring the wealth back to these shows. Like it was,
Rhode
it
Island
reminds me
has
of like old school BH.
Rhode Island has very, very, very wealthy people and then very poor. There's a street, a boulevard, actually, 10-mile drive in Newport, Rhode Island. And all of us that grew up in Rhode Island, a lot of us would have our proms there. And they have these insane mansions that like the Vanderbilts would own. Taylor Swift has a house there. You can drive right by Taylor Swift's home. Like when I go home, my mom's like, "There's where Taylor Swift lives." Like she has a house there. Extreme wealth, where some of the mansions are so expensive that the families couldn't keep them up, that they are now they're tourist attractions. Like they're owned by, I guess, maybe the I don't know. I don't know what it is, but when I tell you wealth like England, like artifacts, like golds on the walls,
bring it the fuck
the Home
on.
Depot bullshit that Trump has put in the White House,
right?
Actual real golds, chandeliers overlooking a cliff, Briar Cliff Mansion. I'm telling you, I don't know who these ladies are. I've been gone from Rhode Island for a while, but there is a lot of wealth in Rhode Island. Old New England money. Pilgrim money going back to England. I guess.
Can tell by the houses.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm a big Jersey fan. Shout out to Tricia and her brother Joe Gorga for reuniting. We'll see what happens with that.
It's cheaper to keep her.
You're gonna get the wealth of Beverly Hills and probably more, and the attitude and the white ratchetness of a Real Housewives of New Jersey.
I'm with it. I've been excited about it since they announced that franchise, that new franchise was coming. I'm with it.
They all do look alike, though. It's very hard to tell who's who.
They all look alike. They all look alike. I will say that
like Dolores. That one lady on the cast looked exactly like Dolores from New Jersey. Remember in the trailer they were like, "Are we friends?
Yeah.
Do you think we're sisters? We're friends?" It looked good. Have you all heard? I know we got to move on because we got a packed agenda tonight, but have you guys heard any of these rumors? We never talk about rumors and any of that shit and scuttlebutt, but let's do it for a second because I'm hearing a lot about a Houston-based franchise coming soon. I'm hearing a lot about that. What are you hearing, Carlos, in the streets of Producerville?
Because your eyes is lit up, Carlos. Your eyes is lit up.
Are you hearing? I know if you obviously any official correspondence you've heard off the record, you can't share, right? But are people far off with that, or are there more new, cities coming or new franchises coming? One specifically being a Texas-based one.
I sometimes frequent Giselle's Word on the Street blog.
Yes.
I sometimes play Mama Joy's Hood Reporting.
Yes.
On my YouTube. So as I'm in the streets of reality television, I've heard the same thing as well. I've heard the same thing.
Really? I'm hearing an all-black cast too. That's what I've been hearing.
Why
Did you hear that?
are you, Claudia? What time is your doctor's appointment? Is it?
That means all right. Get to go.
I'm not doing this.
Bring it on. I think it's a great time for a new all-black franchise. I think it's a great time for new franchises, period, within the Housewives universe. Look how Salt Lake City came out of nowhere and just blew us all away. So I think Rhode Island has that potential. And I'm sorry, with all that medical money, all them doctors and shit in the Houston area, I feel like we can really get some rolling down in Houston. So
Texas, I don't know. I hope because the way they fumbled Dallas with that dry ass cast, and they got mad when I said this before, and I don't give a fuck.
Who got mad?
Carrie got mad at me because she thought she took it as I was talking about her, but I was like, if they would have, the show would have been canceled. They had more spice. I know a lot of wealthy Black women that were interviewed for the show, and they just kept passing on them. I actually had an interview with them as well, but I got it right when I started Fox Soul, and so they would always every year entertain testing, and then no one ever get added. So when it got canceled, I said my shit. I was like, well, there's a lot of talent here. They could have, it would have been spicier. It could add some spice. And Carrie decided to jump out and be like, well, we had I'm like, first of all, calm down. Never say your name. Calm down. Calm down with your 400,000 views because we had 10x that in season 7. And that was your peak. And that was, But anyways, we're all good now. We're cool now. We have a mutual friend, so I try to keep.
Are y'all?
Damn.
If the truth bothers you, then change your truth. If me reporting on your truth bothers you, then change your truth. You felt like you want to pop out to me. I had nothing. I wasn't talking about her individually. I would never put that weight on one person's back on a franchise.
Right. It was all your damn fault.
Yes, it's an ensemble cast for a reason. No, but I do want to get.
All right, Carrie. Next time I see you out, we'll have a drink.
Claudia is hilarious.
What was their name? Deandra. Who was all them Dallas women?
Deandra, Carrie. Listen, I'll say this. I enjoyed. And this is going to be a very controversial statement. It's fine. This show, I feel like, does that. I like Dallas the first couple of seasons. That show to me worked because of Leanne Locken. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Yes.
They needed more Leannes, though. They only had one person, needed more, or someone to else, not just one.
Yeah.
Those girls, a Charlene or something. Keisha.
Those girls were lost. They literally was lost without her. They didn't know what to do because she activated all of them. She was great television, and I'm gonna leave it at that. At the end of the day, it went to show that world. I'll say that world because Claudia's point, they did pick a world of friendships in that particular group instead of expanding outside of the social scene of charitable, events, because that was the focus of that show. And at the end of the day, I don't care how rich you are and all the money. If you ain't good TV, your money means nothing to me. You suck. So I agree with you when it comes to that. I want to talk about. Let's do this. As I was looking at the BravoCon clips, and I want to get y'all thoughts because obviously I know y'all keep it a buck. I could not help but think of Nene Leakes.
Yeah.
And when I say that, I'm being very honest, and I talked about this on my podcast over the weekend. I put myself in Nene's shoes, and I was wondering, how does she feel when she watches these clips of these women being celebrated and being heralded? And Claudia, who obviously I will always consider to be an iconic force on the show, Claudia getting mobbed after being on the show one season. I wondered, wow, if Nene was there and you see the franchise grow. And I thought about Kenya. And I thought about those two women particularly because I'm like, I just felt sad. And this is me. I haven't spoken to the two of them. So trust me, this is only coming from me. I thought about Nene and Kenya a lot. Two women who I felt brick by brick built that show, and were synonymous with the success of it. And, Vicky Govelson got asked back for season 20 of OC, and congratulations to her as well. But, if I'm being completely honest, I thought about Nene, and I thought about,
her attitude during season 11 and 12.
Well, let's talk about it. Let's have a real conversation. I didn't think about that, but I did think about the fact that, look, everybody has done something or said something that they would want to take back. And I'm not here to speak on that, on people's intentions. I will go on the record saying I have not spoken to anybody about this. Neither do I want to, because it's not my business. I better tell you about how I feel about when people come for me. So I'm definitely not going to step in anyone else's shit. But I just felt that because I sometimes look as a viewer. And I don't know. I really thought about her. I thought about Kenya. And I thought about their legacy and what will make of their legacy. So, Dustin, what are your thoughts on that? Do you feel like the legacy of Nene and Kenya will be erased?
I don't think it can be. Number one, I don't think it's possible for true erasure to happen of their impact to the Real Housewives of Atlanta and to Bravo as a network and everything else that is affected thereafter. But listen, I'm looking at it as a fan as well, I guess, from my commentary, and I appreciate everything you just said, because just like you mentioned, Nene Leakes and Kenya Moore are two examples of women who have greatly impacted the success of the Real Housewives of Atlanta, and it would make sense for them to be included in a celebration of that world, right? However, as a viewer, we sat through season 11 at the reunion where Nene sat there and refused to engage with any of her cast members. We sat through her in season 12, slamming the computer down during the virtual reunion, refusing to participate, spitting sunflower seeds at her castmates. Then she had personal issues that we know she was in some sort of legal engagement of the network and of NBC Universal. She's made several comments that were and not alleged, right? These are directly from her accounts. She's made comments that were extreme, to say the least, so there's obviously a path back from that. I don't know what that path looks like for her. I hope they figure it out, because I miss seeing her on TV, on Bravo specifically. Nene Leakes is an immensely talented television personality. She's a great actor. She proved that during her time on The New Normal on NBC. She really showed her acting chops, and so there's talent there. Two-time Broadway performer. There's things that Nene could be doing. rather. And as a viewer and as someone who was a fan of Nene, especially the early seasons 1 through 6, I don't know why things stalled out completely in her camp. One of the best parts about being a fan of Nene Leakes was watching her achieve things that people didn't see possible for her. We loved seeing her go do other shit, be on other shows, exist in other spaces in entertainment. That was part of the fun. So when her attitude started stinking, when she started fumbling, doing what looked like her fumbling opportunities and shit, it was confusing for all of us. So I'm with you. I want to see a redemption arc for her. I think she deserves it based on her talent alone. Real talk. Fuck how you feel about her personality. Nene is talented, and she really should be working, and we should be enjoying her talents more. There's got to be a line there for the personal and the professional. And I think sometimes that can be blurred as a reality star, but you have to work 10 times as hard to define that and keep it separated. Like that song said, you got to keep it separated. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully she'll see success, but it would have been nice to see her included. Now, Kenya Moore, that's a different conversation, because there was an incident that we all saw play out where we saw her face very real consequences, and very real determinations were made, and she was removed from the show. That's fresh, that's new, and it's related to one incident. So there's a lot of really electric opinions attached to that, and I personally believe Kenya Moore should be back on the cast, but that's just me. I'm sure they have their reasons that she's not. So that's all I got to say.
I'll say this about Nene. She went down that path that a lot of people who are getting new money and new fame go through. And you have to be careful with keeping that ego in check, because the entire demise of her career is all self-imposed. It is not from an outside source. It's all from the call coming from inside the house. And I recognize that people are going to say this is a personal thing. I don't even give a damn what y'all say about that. I'm speaking as someone who is highly qualified to speak on this, as someone who's been in the game for 30 years. I've been famous before all these housewives except Candy, okay? So let's be very clear. My resume goes back to 1997, 98. So with that being said, that we're clear on that. This is not hate in any shape or form. But when you get on a show and you have overnight success, it does something to certain people's brains if you're not prepared. One thing about people who have struggled, and this is why a Candy Burris, a Kenya Moore, a lot of other women that have kind of grinded it out for years, they understand that they're not owed this. They have earned it. They have climbed up a ladder, been knocked down, had to figure it out and get back up there. It didn't just happen overnight. When something happens for you overnight and you blow up overnight, if you are not grounded and prepared and don't have the right people around you, your ego will tell you, fuck you. I'm that bitch. I'm rich. I'm that. And you start looking down at people. Whereas someone like the rest of us that have grinded out for years, We understand that the Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away. And when you come on that, when you go downhill, you better keep your ass in check and your ego, because you're going to be wanting another job again. So when you go on your upward trajectory and you shit on people on the way up and you start looking down your noses at people, the very people that like loved you and loved your how humble you are and how down to earth, they don't like this new situation they're seeing. Like, upgrade your bags and your teeth and your body and your house and your cars. Hell yeah. And I'm going to celebrate you when you do that. But don't be getting shitty with people. Don't then assault cameramen. Don't refuse to go on cast trips when you don't like the person that's head of that cast trip. Don't think you're bigger than the program, because you will get humbled and you will not be bigger than the program. And when you lose your opportunity and you're like, hey guys, remember me? I'm the one that built it from the ground up. And you did, and you should get that credit. But people, there's so many people here that want your spot that sometimes a production company will take that L and say, yeah, she would make our ratings go through the roof, but I just don't want to deal with the headache that comes with it. It's too much of a price to pay. Nene Leakes, I don't think that it's the end of the road for you, because you are so charismatic and you still have, I bet you if I got mobbed at that convention, girl, you would have been mobbed like time and time. Okay. Yes. You would have, but you have to be, you got to show some kind of humility. And this is not me telling a Black woman to make herself smaller, but you can't shit on the companies and the people that helped you along the way. You can hold people accountable that did you dirty, but like, it's the attitude. And I've witnessed it for myself. So I'm speaking from someone that knows what they're talking about. And that's, I think, where the problem is. We haven't, like, maybe there's a one-on-one interview with someone, again, maybe Carlos, it's you again, where you're like, listen, people have wronged me and she has every right to say that, but I have to still recognize the errors of what I did, how I contributed to it. Hey, maybe I wasn't the easiest person to deal with. Maybe I gave production a hard time. And if I could do it again, I probably wouldn't do that. I bet you something as small as that, well, that's not small, would make people be like, you know what, maybe she's changing. We're willing to do it again. But when people have these budgets, they don't want to deal with that shit. No one wants to deal with your ass feeling like you're big in the program and being obnoxious when I got to sit there and shoot with you for 12 hours.
I see. You know what my thing is too, Claudia, right? I just, it hit me in my head right now when you were talking about that. For years, and y'all know professionalism is important to me too, right? For years, Nene would talk about how she was respectful, she was professional on other sets when she would go do other work, like when she was great on Fashion Police on E, right? And I remember her talking
about white people, you're gonna act right, but then once you're a Black cast, you're gonna act up. No. Sorry.
Wake it up, Claudia. But I remember her saying how, you know, I come to these sets and I don't even ask for a lot. I just want water and my check on time. You know, everybody knows I'm on time. I'm easy to work with or whatever. So that to me means that, Nene, you know the value of being pleasant per se. You know the value. You know how to do what you need to do and you need to do it. So when you act out and act otherwise, you know what you're doing then too. And that's the part that makes me struggle with, like, looking at her as a victim. You know what I'm saying? Because you know better. You know what you're doing, Nene. We all know how hard we work for opportunity, for visibility, for all of those things. So to see somebody who has the talent and is now being met with the opportunity, fumble it, and you're a fan of their personality and what they do, is really disappointing. So,
and I do think there was a time she was professional, but then I think when you're not used to fame and you get it overnight quickly, it does. And it's not just a Nene thing. Like, I hope y'all don't think I'm just trying to drag her. I'm just saying, you see with other people. Jocelyn's another example of that. When you get fame overnight, it sometimes can turn you into like a narcissist or turn you into someone that's a little unbearable to be around. I remember Nene had a thing here in Dallas and a play, and we were actually in a decent place, and I had promoted on my radio station, and she was supposed to come by the show. She didn't, whatever, that's fine. And then she was going to host a meet and greet here in Dallas. Well, people paid extra money to be there for that. She got mad with something with the play and didn't want to come out of her dressing room. And then she was leaving after the play and didn't give these people the meet and greet. They begged me to go in there, and I had to explain for her and cover for her. And this is when we weren't like this. I was like, listen, she wasn't feeling well, whatever I said to cover for her. But when you do little things like that, you may think it's just a play, it's just a little Black movie, or it's just a little low budget production. But producers talk amongst themselves, and Nene, you came into the business and blew it up. It would be a tragedy for you to not get back on something on that level again, because you do have so much charisma. You're funny. And, you know, like, all personal shit aside, you're funny and you deserve to be on something. But you've got to humble yourself, and you've got to get that spirit out of you where you look down on people, and people are not beneath you because you're famous. They're not.
And Nene knows how to take a note too. She knows how to listen to all this and take the note, because when she met Marlo in season 4, Nene started dressing better. So you can take a note from somebody. You know how to take a note, Nene.
I mean, look how amazing her hair has been ever since season 7 of Housewives. Her hair has been fucking flawless ever since that George Washington wig read happened. So I'd like to say I contribute to that. Sorry, Carlos. I know we make life a little difficult right now.
Oh, fine. Listen.
He's like, shut up.
No, you guys. Listen.
Shut up.
You guys.
I'm sick, so I have an excuse. I'm not myself. My brain is.
And I'm tired, so we sick and tired.
Okay, and I'm about to wake it up. So that's my contribution with that. I will say this, as somebody who was there the first day Nene filmed. Okay, there's no instruction manual that one receives when they come from anonymity to a global sensation, right? I'm not here to make excuses for anybody. What I will say is I've seen worse things happen where other women are celebrated. I've seen other women who are still on these shows do something worse than she's ever done that are still working. I've seen other women of different races say worse things publicly and they're still working and back. What I will say is this: I'm not here to say shoulda, woulda, coulda. What I will say is, when it comes to Nene Leakes, I don't think Nene Leakes has done anything worse than some people have done. I think for me, there's always room for grace if one has the opportunity to confront things head on, to say, let's have a real conversation, right? There's people who have said the worst things about me possible, right? I mean, the most horrendous shit about me, who I've given opportunities to. And the way I operate, I'm never going to clap back at anybody. And that also doesn't mean that I'm going to hold a grudge either. I'm somebody who understands that, look, I don't know what it's like to be a reality star. And the reason why I created Reality with the King is because I wanted to give reality stars the opportunity to be seen. And again, there's reality stars who do the craziest things, right? However, I always try to find room where grace is needed if they are at a place to offer that. And I really want to say that you have to be at a place to offer that. I think we've all said things that we wish we could take back.
For sure.
But you know what I mean? And I think
I've done nothing ever.
The perfect Patty that is Claudia Jordan. You know, look, I think we've all done things that we wish we could take back. But I definitely think I'm dying today. I definitely think it's one of those things where I am just somebody who feels like if someone is ready to come, let me make sure my mic is there. If someone is ready to come to the table with a plate full of grace, I think that's the first step. One thing my friend said to me recently, I'm a really good friend of mine who's in the business. She said to me, Carlos, you can't expect someone to accept the apology when you want them to. And that struck with me. I'm like, what do you mean? And she was like, that person who deserves the apology, you have to wait on them to receive it. And I thought that was powerful. We were talking about just life in general. So I will say that. One thing I will say is Andy Cohen has said that him and Nene have been texting.
Yeah.
So I think that's a step in the right direction. When it comes to Kenya Moore, I will also go on record saying out of all of my girls that I worked with on that show, and Claudia, obviously, you know, we had our wonderful one season together. But of all the girls that I worked with on the show multiple seasons, I will always go on record saying Kenya Moore was nothing short of lovely to me. Yeah. To me, she was lovely, and I just think when it comes to reality stars, I think, look, there should always be an opportunity where grace should be given if the person is at a place to offer that, because it is, Claudia, you know this too, and that's why I'm so glad you're talking about it. It's a tough gig. It's a tough gig. It really is a tough gig. But I think, I think all parties involved should be able to, like.
We should, but I feel like at what point do we stop treating grown ass adults as children? Because like they should get, like, no one owes you anything in this business, right?
No one owes you shit. I agree with that.
Yeah. And the fact that any of us, entire panel included, and every housewife was blessed with an amazing opportunity, and then to shit on your opportunity when you could be working at Walmart, where you could be working construction. Not that these are bad jobs, but they're not as glamorous as being a housewife. It's something that I don't know, maybe I'm very protective over every single gig, this included, everything. I'm like, oh my God, you didn't have to give this to me. Thank you. No, you didn't owe me shit. No.
And I will, not to cut you off, I will say this. Claudia, and obviously Dustin knows it's him too. But Claudia obviously being a former housewife.
Yeah.
I will say at the end of the day, I will go on record saying this to the world. Claudia has been the most gracious when it comes to me on a personal level. Claudia has personally sent me text messages, sent me videos of gratefulness. I thank you. You've done this for me. Claudia has done interviews saying Carlos has done X, Y, and Z for me. And I will say, as a producer and creator, and as a person who gives people opportunities, I will say this, that does go a long way, so that when I do have openings, I remember those things. Yeah. I do remember it. I'm like, Claudia, you want to do this? So in Claudia's defense, you are one of the most wonderfully gracious women I know.
And I thank you, Carlos. And I thank you for saying that, because I appreciate it. I am a girl from the smallest state in America that has a little bit of a lisp, that is forgetful as hell, and has a cussing problem, right?
I love that about you.
So thank you. So every time I get something, it is not that you guys owe me something because I'm so beautiful and I'm just so everything. No, I'm like, you see me? Thank you. I will never shit on a fan. You will never hear me being at the airport in Atlanta and me putting my hand in people's faces, back up off me. And your girl's like that. You know what I mean? And that's inside work you got to do. Like, that's a personality thing. And I don't know if you have to decide to change that when you're sick of being like that. Every single person that comes up to me, and Dustin, I know you're like this as well. It is like, oh my God, thank you. It's not like yeah, you know it. It's not that. And you got to adjust your fucking attitude, because no one owes you anything. And when you have other reality stars that are out there, listen, before Nene, there was New York. Okay. There's always going to be other people out there that are good and talented that want your spot. So when you are blessed with the opportunity, please don't piss it down the toilet with arrogance, with rudeness, with even shitting on the very people that put you in position. And yes, I don't know her life. And it's not just a attack Nene thing. It's not just her. There's other people out there that I'm like, damn, you got blessed. That's like the people that win the lottery. I'm like, how you blow that? How do you blow that?
I think authenticity is important, especially when you're expressing gratitude. Carlos, just like you said, you appreciated the moments where Claudia was sincerely, thankful for different things.
He didn't have to
you also know when somebody blowing smoke up your ass too. Oh, Carlos, you know the difference.
You know the difference.
So to me, it's all about you got to be authentic, you got to be sincere, and people got to believe the words that you say when you say them to people. Carlos believes what you say. And so when you express that gratitude to him, it hit and it mattered. You just got to keep it real at all times. And part of being able to keep it real, you have to have a healthy ego, right? In order to show gratitude to someone, to tell a motherfucker thank you, you have to be able to say, that's not taking anything away from me to thank this person, because that's genuinely how I feel. I'm grateful for this opportunity. Let me thank them. As long as you have access to your humility and you have that in perspective, I think that you can be sustainable. And that's a great way to tell who's not humble, who's not gracious, and who's not offering gratitude, because they stop working. They fade out. The people you see who stay consistent and have great relationships, you can see that. You see it. It's the proof is in the pudding. You know what I'm saying?
Don't just be humble when you need another job now.
No.
You gotta be humble when you're at your height. When you're at your height and you're humble, to me, that speaks volumes. When everyone's humble when you need to get back on. But Carlos, I appreciate that about you, because I have a sharp tongue. Dustin does too. We ram. But we need this kind of balance in life, right? There's people that would just say, no, fuck that. No, you blew it. That's it. And then there's people like you that are like, well, we should, and that's what makes the world go round. Actually, this is a healthy panel that we have here, and a healthy discussion to see things from both, to hear from both perspectives. You know what I mean? And I like that about you. You do give people, like, you do breathe life into people, and you do give chances and chances, and you're very kind to people. Maybe that's something I need to work on, where I'm like, man, I'm like that Cardi B meme when she's like, when we got beef, it's
forever. Yeah.
It's not like,
no, well, thank you for that.
It's just my opinion.
No. Listen, I wanted to have I literally told my raindrops over the weekend. I said, I brought it up on my Saturday show, and then I said I will get Claudia and Dustin's POV on it, because I just thought it was a larger conversation. And again, this was all me. Nene tweeted nothing, said nothing. No one said anything. Portia did say that she wants Nene back on the show, and that's what made me think about her. And again, it's just my heart was full, and I was in a moment. Then I thought about Kenya, and I'm gonna end with this. I want to move on. Listen. It's tough to do this job. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's a very tough gig, and I just wish that, and that's why I keep.
You wish you could have worked out with her, right? And
but that's why I'm enforcing. Enforcing that. I wish all parties, because I don't think the onus is on one person.
No.
If all parties involved, me and Claudia joked about how me and Claudia got into it in West Hollywood, and Claudia cussed me out, but
I didn't cuss you out.
You use words that weren't in the Webster dictionary.
my heart was hurt for a little bit.
But I knew that at the end of the day, that me and my girls gonna be fine, because I'm in love with Claudia. Like, Claudia's my baby doll. So I was like, we'll get past this. Like, we'll move on. So that's why I keep saying, like, I just want all parties involved to always find a place of room for it. But like my friend said, I also am now understanding that when you're ready to apologize to a person, you can't expect the other person to accept it immediately. And that's fair. And I'm all about being fair, and that's being fair. So with that being said, I want to move on to Potomac, because Monique Samuels is back on the show. So Claudia, I know you're just getting back to watching Potomac, but I'm pretty sure you know Monique Samuel is the binder queen.
Yes.
So she is back on Potomac. Ashley is there with her. Dustin is obviously somebody that has seen every single frame of Potomac since the inception, amongst other shows. So Dustin, what did you think about Monique Samuel's comeback?
I was happy to see her back, and I feel like Monique been wanting to be back on this show. So I was happy to see her back. You know what I'm saying? I think that Monique is divorced now. I think that she's looking at life a little differently. Now, she still has her menagerie, right? She got all them goddamn animals all over the house, but everything else has changed. You know what I'm saying? Her kids are older. She's not married anymore. I think that she can exist on that show a little differently now. And so I'm actually glad to see her back. I love a redemption story. I was a person who felt like Monique got a bad deal in season 5 after that physical altercation. I was one of those people who felt that way strongly. And so seeing her come back and have conversations to kind of build a bridge with these ladies, I love it. I was very happy to see Monique back. Not them fucking animals, but Monique, yes, I was happy to see.
I saw Candace at a drag show that was for Real Housewives of Politics, and she was there. She looked absolutely beautiful. And I know that's, that those two had that fight, but yeah.
I like Candace.
I do too. She's always been great to me. I like seeing Monique. I feel like she's gonna wake it up. And I know we're gonna get into it, but Kay was messy as hell.
Yes, Kay. Yes. Do your job. Live. Work.
I was like, whoa, she didn't even let her breathe. Like, she just got here and they were like, oh, I thought you knew each other. You didn't know Stacey already? Oh, wait, that was the other Samuel. I was like, oh shit.
Student of the game. She put a Giselle on Giselle right there in the moment. She did what Giselle would have done, but she did it first. And I was so happy for Kiana. Y'all know I want her to be successful on this show. I think she has what it takes.
I think Dustin has a crush on Kiana.
I think she's a beautiful woman, but I think she has what it takes to be on this show. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like she has it. And so I just want her to harness it appropriately. And seeing her think quick on her feet in that moment made me hopeful.
She gagged Stacey. Stacey was like, ooh.
I don't know what's going on here. I love Stacey. Stacey gives you QVC no matter what situation she's in.
That's her superpower.
That's the beauty. Like the fact that the mess is happening and she just went straight into like, I don't know what's going on here. This seems weird. I don't know what they're trying to do. I thought it was great. KK shook it up. And look, let's get some activation going on. I'm looking forward to see what happens, what it brings. The idea of what we can find out about how Monique feels, about Stacey, whatever Stacey's going to say, because remember, we only know that Stacey and Chris went on a date courtesy of the producer cam. So Stacey hasn't admitted on camera in front of these girls on camera that she went on a date with him, but we will see if that does come out. So I'm looking forward to seeing what happens with that. And speaking of speaking of who I think should be a housewife and could be a formidable player, Jazzy got married. She had a wedding in Claudia's city of Dallas.
Yes.
And I want to see Jazzy as a housewife. I think, baby, the wealth. We talked about the wealth of Rhode Island. Jazzy and her man got money. When I interviewed Jazzy last year on my podcast, and her now husband joined the conversation, and they're like this very young, attractive couple.
Love that.
I think people don't understand. Remember on Atlanta when we had Ed Hartwell, who was an athlete currently, on a team. I want to see that when it comes to, Potomac. He is an athlete that is currently playing. He's on the field. She is a WAG, and I think the WAG world would be interesting to see. So I'm Team Jazzy. I'm Team Kiana. I want them to continue filming. And listen, I want some like spark in Potomac. Look, Wendy's situation, her legal situation, obviously happened after the season. That is something that would have been great to watch unfold, like we did Erica Jane, we did Teresa Giudice with their legal situation. But nonetheless, I'm here for KK and I'm here for Jazzy.
I liked Ashley's drag name she gave to everyone, and she gagged Giselle. She gave her the name Serving Jizz. I was like, yo, oh my God.
That was actually pissing me off. I'm gay. We don't be calling each other them names and shit. Pride ain't even about that. Pride is about seeing everybody you ain't seen in a while, saying what's up to everybody, whatever, keeping it moving. We don't stand around and call it, well, since it's Pride, you're going to be Sir Sucks a Lot. We don't do that. So I understand they was having fun and shit.
Represent Dustin.
I understand they was having
fun.
Right. And I appreciate it because it came from a good place. Please don't misunderstand what I'm saying.
The drag names, though, they
were supportive, but I was just like, Ashley.
But everybody liked theirs except only person that didn't like it was Giselle. See, you got me calling her Jizz. The only person I didn't like their name, it was shady, but I thought they were kind of tongue-in-cheek funny. It
was fun. And I think they look cute. Have y'all seen their looks for the after show for Potomac yet? The ladies look gorgeous on their after show. I'm talking about good. Wendy and Kiana, got the fuck down on them after show looks. Ashley has been looking good all this season. That new confessional look with the bangs and the tie and shit,
the bangs,
and the glove. Ashley, whoever's been styling her, you've been doing a good job.
Kudos.
And
Paris Shea has been styling Wendy for her.
Shout out to Paris
Shea. Oh yeah.
Wendy's been gorgeous.
Angel woke it up this episode too. She had get a little read to Wendy a little bit.
Okay, about that. So
take it away.
So the Angel scene with her sister Ingrid proved all of our points, right? Angel's not being herself in her scenes with the cast.
She don't do that in front of nobody.
The person we saw eating that ice cream with that sister, big sister named Ingrid. Anytime your big sister name is Ingrid, that's a mean name. You know what I'm saying? Consonants and shit. Ingrid. You know, so anytime your big sister is stepping like that, you know you gotta have that fire in you anyway. And the way Angel was letting it fly in that conversation with her sister Ingrid, that's the comfort level that we need to see Angel have in her cast scenes. And I'm sorry, but slipping a comment under your breath when Giselle walked into the bar at Pride talking about, hey, my fellow wag, all low like that they had to caption it on the damn screen for us to know what you were saying. It's not.
She needs to say it with her chest like she says it when she's with her friends in the group chat.
And her sister, because she was interesting sitting down at the ice cream parlor with her sister. Didn't y'all feel like that?
That's what's frustrating about her. I think we all agree. She shows us that she has it in her, and we'll show it when she's one-on-one over here, but then won't. I think we talked about this. She's a fan of the show. I think she's a little bit intimidated to say it to their face, but behind their back, she has the smoke. You know, I think she's still
say it. I wish she would be like, I've been watching this show for so long, so it took me a minute to get in the groove, but like say it so that we can neutralize all that. Because I personally felt like, based on some of her and Kiana did a lot of press together during BravoCon. So when they were walking the carpet and being interviewed by the outlets and stuff, they were together. And Angel's and Kiana's disposition to a certain extent, like BravoCon is fun, right? Those interviews, the time that you're allowed with the different media outlets is short. You can't really do a deep dive of anything serious. You need to have fun, put a little zinger in it, show your personality, and be upbeat. Kiana and Angel walked down that press line like, so first of all, she is a classic textbook. My feelings connected to that. I mean, she's wrong, but so it was just too serious, you know? And I think that, I don't know if they're going to get it in that capacity. I think Kiana is starting to get it, right? Because this is her second season. Angel's still got a lot to learn. I don't think that's a healthy pairing for that reason. You know?
And to piggyback off of what you're saying, what we did see during the BravoCon red carpet, the reporter did ask Angel about Giselle and Claudia Dustin. She called Giselle a geriatric Regina George, saying they're mean girls, which as Dustin rolls his eyes. Okay, well, he did the sound effect. So look,
Angel, no.
Hell no, Angel.
We want you to win.
Yeah, but it's what we listen. We called it from the beginning. I said to y'all, my opinion is I think Angel gave great casting tape to get the flute, like someone I work with on Atlanta. And the moment Claudia, shut the F up. And the moment, I'm not saying to you. Look, I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, so Dustin,
y'all niggas, y'all got me dying today. You hear me? Y'all got me rolling today. Right, she Nene today. Well, here we go. I can just do this.
You know what? I take everything I said back about Nene. She was right, and I'm like, Nene, I see you now. I see they want you to be like this.
Exactly. Right.
Buddy, we got a hostile work environment over here.
Wow. Oh my God.
No, I think she gave great casting tape, but I think the moment the red light was on, that camera, and I think the producers were like, who is this? That's what I saw. I don't like it when a person reads in a confessional. There's a lot of confessional gangsters on these shows that once Carlos can't move on. Anyways, I thought that because I'm not going there. I thought at the end of the day, Angel proved what we all suspected is she is somebody that deserves to be on the show. But the moment she's around those girls, honey,
I don't know what it is.
Mama is. I know what I know, Dustin. I'm not being shady. I have experienced this. What happens is this, and I'm not exaggerating. You're watching television. When and this is not just for housewives, when a reality star is entering a known institution, a known show, they've watched it. And just like how, let's have a real conversation. We've all been in situations watching television where they're scripted and
don't act like you don't see me texting you niggas right now.
Okay.
Don't act like y'all don't see me texting y'all with these names 3 times. Do I need to leave again? You don't sit here and act like you don't see my text come. I hear the alerts going off. Raindrops.
I'll call you later. Oh, you're so messy.
I say one of them names never should have been on the show, but I love seeing the current iteration of their life.
Are any of those right?
The first name you said, I love seeing the current iteration of their life, but they should have never been on that show. But I think their life is fascinating. The first name she said.
I would say
all of
number
them?
2. I mean, in some degree, but number 2 for sure.
Oh, for sure.
For sure. This is so messy. I can't believe I'm doing this with you guys. Anyways, Claudia, let's land the plane. The government shutdown is over. Yes.
Oh my God. I feel like I'm gonna faint right now, you guys.
So I'm landing the plane. All right, so here we go.
Yo, you two better have locks on your phone. We better never lose our phones, okay? If any one of us lose our phones, they're gonna put the screenshots up at BravoCon next year.
I'll be deleting all that shit anyway. I don't keep no shit like that in my phone. Good dog.
Okay. So what I will say is, I think we've all, even the raindrops, there's people who want to be a part of Monday Night Live that think, I can do Dustin and Claudia and Carlos' job, and we make it look easy, right? And I think when some people join the show, they if I was at that dinner table, I would have said this, I would have done that. And I think once they get the gig,
you would do shit.
You know, it's this. It's this. So look, I think the jury saw on Angel. The trailer, the mid-season trailer was released for Potomac.
Yes.
And Angel seems to have some things going on for the rest of the season. Claudia and Dustin, it appears that there's something going on in one of her homes and something going on. It's guys, watch the trailer. Angel may have a great story that we'll see towards the end of the season that may unravel.
Look at Dustin's face.
We're gonna see, because according to that mid-season trailer, remember Giselle and them were trying to say that Angel and her husband got evicted. That already pissed me off. We know damn well they didn't get evicted. We know that they can afford to live in a home if they need to. So that being the story, well, did they get put out that house? That's about to piss me off. Okay, because we know it's not true, and I don't feel like wasting 4 or 5 fucking episodes arguing about a bunch of bullshit that don't even make no sense. You know what I'm saying? Of course, we know they didn't get fucking evicted. Even if they did, it was related to something. You know what I'm saying? They weren't destitute, and so I just don't even want to explore that path. I heard they got put out. Like, that's just a waste of our time. Yeah. We could be getting to know her and Ingrid, because Ingrid don't give a fuck. She need to film with her sister Ingrid more. Angel does, and we could be watching that instead of watching watching the cast, manipulate this situation to be something stupid. That for me personally, just me speaking for myself, when I saw that, I was like, oh damn, that's what we gonna do with Angel. Did she or didn't she get put out? That's what the damn story is.
Yeah, she's clearly not broke.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like seeing sidebar real quick, because unrelated. I really like the scene with Tia and her family with the kids and the husband. I thought that was so cute.
Too.
I love Tia.
That made me be like, oh
her kids. Them daughters, they look just like their father, but when they smile, they have that smile like they're their father from here to here, and Tia from here to here. And
I enjoyed them. They seem like they have a great relationship. Like their family dynamic is super cute. I love how her husband's aura. They are. We need to see more functional, not dysfunctional, functional relationships. Like I really liked seeing them. That was nice to see.
I agree, Claudia.
Yeah, I'm here for Tia. I love Tia, and so Potomac, great episode. We'll see what happens next week. I want to get into Bell Collective season finale. Dustin and Claudia, what we are witnessing is Glendale Glendale is trying to right his wrongs, and he attempted to throw another recommitment ceremony for his wife Leticia after Amanda alleged that they were DMing each other. Latrice and Leticia friendship is at a crossroads. So Glendale decided to, with the assistance of her family and with Marie Monroe, who would have thought Glendale Marie will be co-conspirators and getting Leticia back, getting them back together. So we saw Glendale try. Leticia is getting phone calls, and the surprise is not a surprise anymore because people are calling her saying, "What time is the commitment ceremony? When this happening?" And rightfully so, Leticia feels like, well, damn, I have to also plan my own surprise party. Dustin, do you think this recommitment ceremony is going to really solidify the status of Glenn and Leticia's relationship?
No, I don't. Unfolding some chairs, putting out 24 roses, and having everybody sit out in a hot ass Mississippi burning sun. You know what I'm saying? And while you sitting there whispering to each other, is not going to save their marriage. Now, what I think will save their marriage is Leticia's determination to have her marriage succeed. I think that no matter what, she laid it out plain when they were having the commitment situation. We ain't even gonna call it a ceremony. When they were having their commitment situation out there in them chairs, she said, I'm never giving up on you because I love you, and I'm going to forgive you for things because I want us to work. That's sort of dedication and commitment. That's what people talk about when they mention the conviction of a wife or whatever. That's what they're talking about. And when it's healthy, and when that sort of conviction is juxtaposed against something that's healthy, it works, right? Hopefully, Glenn, after this time of making maybe not the best choice, because I like Glenn a lot. I enjoyed us interviewing him on the show. I think he's a great time, and I've been watching Bell Collective. I love that show. I've been watching it since season 1. I'm one of the people that wants their marriage to work. I really hope Glenn got it, and he understands that he has got to stop fucking up. Full stop. You got to stop fucking up on TV, and you'll save your relationship. So I don't think that them chairs and them 2 bushels of flowers is gonna save. And Marie wiping her eyes and shit with Cedric out there looking up. Cedric was looking up the whole time when I was in that commitment ceremony. I said, "Where are they doing a commitment up there? They up there, stay in the treehouse?" Cedric, the whole time. But I think it's just gonna take more than that. So I was happy to see them do something though. Like
it seems like from his tears that he wants it to work, but doesn't really have the tools, know how to do it. That's if I'm like an outsider looking in, like he wants to, but he's just not able. Like, y'all play sports, right?
Yeah.
What sport y'all play? Y'all play basketball?
Yep.
Yes.
Oh my God. I need footage of this, first of all. Like you look at the rim and you're like, damn, I really want to dunk that ball, but I can't. I just don't have the tools. That's what it feels like looking at him. It feels like he wants to, but like he tried to do the ceremony, he kind of half-assed it, And I don't think his heart is not into it. I just think he just doesn't know what to do.
That's why you need to let women lead. Y'all motherfuckers got to start letting women lead and be comfortable.
Amen.
We need women. There's certain things that women just know how to do. They can do anything, really. You know what I'm saying? There's things that they know how to do. Being detail oriented, making sure shit. That's why the motherfuckers was calling her and not him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And he was trying to surprise her. He didn't even make sure that note was met. That hey, this is a surprise. So you know what I'm saying?
And he gave up so fast.
Yeah.
Like as soon as a few things went wrong, he's like, "Well, for effort then." Like I would be so mad. Like, wait. You had this great idea, so you did have the desire to make it right. You fell short. I'm getting my phone blown up. I can't even say something about it without you blowing up. Like, fuck it then. Like, like you're the one that messed up here, sir, not me. So it's not my job to chase you down and to make it right and to fix it and to just be so quick to jump on board.
I understand exactly why she was pissed, didn't y'all? I understand exactly why Letitia was pissed. Why she was pierced. I'm thinking about Letitia Pearson. I understand why she was pissed.
I thought that.
Okay. Because damn, like you done fucked up already. I'm at my wit's end with everything and everybody right now. And on top of all that, you couldn't even do this shit right without somebody calling me for something. That would have, and like she said, it's about the effort. It's you making the effort to plan that and successfully pulling it off demonstrates that you give a damn about her, and it demonstrates all the things that she told you she needed to feel when they were recommitting, whatever that conversation was that they had, the things she was saying about feeling valued, right, Claudia?
Yeah,
like that's why you have to make the effort. So,
ladies, I've had a conversation with one of my friends about this recently. When you give these motherfuckers chance after chance after chance after chance, they have lost the fear of really losing you. So they're a little bit laid back with the apology or a little half-ass with the effort. A man that's really afraid he might really lose you, he gonna make sure every I is dotted and every T is crossed, scared. But when you're like, I'll put a little effort, I'll do a little something, here you go. Oh, but I forgot to do this. I forgot to do that part. No, when someone's really afraid of losing or how much of a priority you are, you ain't gonna you gonna not fuck up because you're like, my girl don't play. When they know, I don't give chances, as you see on the show. I give 0 chances, and maybe I'm a bit extreme. They do not serve you to give.
Wait, are Aries forgivable people? Like, do y'all forgive easily?
No.
Yes and no.
Yes and no.
Oh. So mistakes, and Dustin, I won't hog this section. But there's a difference. I think we're very keen on this thing. There's mistakes that people make. Those are forgivable. Then there's character flaws that are 1,000% not forgivable because we know better. We know when you violate on a character flaw, fuck you for life, because that's who you are. You ain't changing your character. But a mistake is a situational thing. You should have went left when you should have gone left, but you went right. Dustin, what do you think?
Forgive that 100%. And to add further context to that, we are especially not forgiving, right? When we feel that we have made a personal investment into the goodness of a situation. If I'm going out of my way to be good to you, and you and me both know that, and you do some foul, dirty ass shit to me, like just flat out, no, I'll forgive you, but I won't never fuck with you again. And you know that. You know what I'm saying? And that's not a looming threat in your relationship with people, but you know how someone is showing up to you, you know how you're showing up to them, flat out. You know what I'm saying? And that's an Aries thing. We all in. But the minute we feel like you not on us, oh, okay.
And also, don't stay mad that long. Like when it's again outside of character, if it's a character thing, it's forever. But like if you make a mistake, I can go to sleep and wake up the next day and I'd be like, "What's up? What we doing today? We going?"
I ain't even tripping. Yeah, I ain't tripping. We don't sweat the small stuff for real. We too player for that.
But character stuff, fuck you forever, 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 ever, forever, ever.
Because I don't feel like it's hard to be a good friend to somebody. I don't.
No, I don't think so either. I actually agree with that. And look, so Dustin, you know, Huntsville is back.
Yes.
So Raindrops, Leave Me Alone. We're back for a 2-week break. 2-month break, and there'll be more afterwards. I'm just giving y'all a heads up. Okay. I don't control the calendar. There'll be more breaks.
Who should we direct that commentary toward, Carlos? Because it's definitely a conversation that people are having. Like, we want more. We love these shows, we love these casts, and we want more. And to me, that would be appealing to the network because there's more eyes on the network. So who should we tell we simply want more? That's really the message, is that we want more.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I'm with you. But look, I'll send the message. Now, before we wrap things up, Huntsville is back, and one of the things that I can't wait to talk about, Claudia, I'm going to give this all to Dustin because Dustin sent me a text, and it was a Destiny scene, and Dustin was very happy. Destiny is dating, and we saw Destiny on a date with Twan. So, Claudia, Twan is the god. He's sort of like the godson of Miss Nell and Chris Fletcher. And as you know, their son Lance was also dating Destiny. So Destiny didn't know that Twan was the godson of the guy she was dating parents.
Oh, I remember that.
Okay. And he does security. Dustin, what did you think about that scene?
I just like I told you for full disclosure, since this is the Tell the Text episode, right? Of our show. So full disclosure, right? I text Carlos and I told him, like, yo, now this is what the fuck I'm talking about. This is what I've been wanting to see from Destiny all along. I thought that she had a great attitude in that scene. I thought it was fun. I like seeing, if you're gonna be single and they're gonna have these rumors floating around, let's see you date. There's nothing wrong with you being single and dating. And obviously all of these men she's appealing to the men in the area that are part of the cast, and a lot of them are into her. So like if she wants to date, I just like seeing single, fun, free Destiny. Her energy was good, and I really enjoyed that as opposed to seeing her in conflict with the cast. I don't like seeing her like that, hanging off the door of Madani. I don't want to see none of that. I want to see her being flirty, hanging at the okay. I don't even see that no more. You know what I'm saying? I want to see her being flirty, fun, just like we did. I thought she looked great. I thought she was funny. And that's the Destiny that I want to see right there. So that's all I got to say. Good job, Destiny.
Dating after divorce is a fun storyline. Claudia has to go to the doctor really fast. So one last thing I want to talk about. I knew this episode would be jam-packed, but one last thing is I want to give a special shout out to Tricia Reedus.
Yes.
Love and Match Huntsville, who had a therapy scene with Dr. Francis. And it was the opportunity for the audience, because I know y'all be like, you know, what's going on with Trish? And I thought Tricia did a fantastic job being vulnerable. So guys, if you haven't seen that scene, please spend today watching it. Watch the premiere, not the premiere lore, watch the return of the show. But the scene with Tricia and Dr. Francis, to me, really opened up my eyes to Tricia. Dustin?
I want to give Tricia her props. And in this case, I want to give Tricia, Ken, and Marquez their props, right? Because all three of them had a hand on Tricia's son, Xavier, and him being reared in some way at some point up until the point he's at now. And the way that that young man sat in that gym with his mom and expressed his feelings to her, connected to the breakups, connected to the divorce, connected to the arguments between her and Ken. Her son Xavier was so emotionally intelligent and so well spoken. That came from somebody doing a good job with him. His temperament, his energy, that's a smart young Black man. And I think that he's going to do really good things in the world based on the way that his perspectives were at such a young age. They've done, somebody somewhere has done a great, I don't know if it's Tricia, Ken, Marquez, the school systems, maybe his grandparents, I don't know, but somebody has had a great influence on him. That's a good young Black man right there that was sitting in that scene. And I can't wait to see that young man be successful. The way that he expressed himself and the way that he was able to master his emotions connected to all these circumstances, when most kids are sitting there scratching their head and shrugging their shoulders and looking at a damn Nintendo Switch. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't that. He was so well spoken and so, just like I said, emotionally intelligent. I was so proud of that. I was so happy to see that. So kudos to him and everybody that had an influence on him. That was beautiful, Carlos.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. It was. So listen, guys, Bell Collective Part 1 reunion is coming out this Friday, 8 o'clock 7 Central. Huntsville is back. Claude, is there anything you want to promote before you go? and get your blood work done, babes?
It's a slow week for me. Just accidentally informed this.
Good. You need a break. You need a rest.
Yep.
Resting is good. So I'm
We
happy.
love you, Erica.
Go to bed.
I'm supposed to go to Miami.
Erica.
I love Erica. She's so sweet. She put this great video recap together. She's just so selfless. She really is. She's so awesome. I love her. I'm gonna be in Miami on Friday. So Carlos, put that Raindrops Kingdom Rain credit card down for reservations at Prime 112. I will take the colossal crab claws and the kale salad and the lobster bisque. Thank you very much. I want them
scallops and the short ribs over there.
So good.
Because I'm vegan, they allow me to order from their sister restaurant across the street. That's an Italian. So I get pasta.
I'm Italian, yo. Love it.
You're really a vegan? Like you really gave up meat?
9 years. Yes.
Wow.
That's what's up.
Yes.
I guess I'm a vegan too right now too. We all vegans. Well, I'm a vegan.
Well,
I've given up meat for a while.
Just red meat. I still like my meat dark. So, you know. All right. So, with that being said, Raindrops, make sure y'all catch up on these shows. I love y'all, and we will see y'all on the next
Love y'all too. Go to DustinRossLive.com.
Oh, you have a show. Also, you have a show coming up.
DustinRossLive.com, November 30th in Charlotte, December 4th, Miami Improv. December 19th, I'm playing Detroit, the Comedy Bar. So get your tickets, DustinRossLive.com. December 19th.
Okay.
Yep. Love y'all.
Love y'all.
Great. Yes. Bye.